We're gonna find out the last character, Dragon Ball FighterZ. We have 6 characters coming for Season 2 of DLC for Fighters. 2 of them have already come out. 3 others have already been announced. We have 1 final character remaining. Who is this going to be? We have logic on our side. We have the powers of deduction. We're gonna find out in this very video. And first of all, we're gonna throw the color background theory and put it right where it belongs. What is this color background theory? Well, many channels have made theories around this, and I'm gonna explain it very briefly. So, the Nintendo Switch store, when Season 2 of DLC rolled out, they listed all the DLC characters. They have release dates, and each one of them has a little silhouette with different colored backgrounds. Now, the silhouette is only a placeholder model. Either that, or the next DLC characters are all Tien. You guys kept complaining that the game has too many Gokus, so now they're putting too many Tiens in it. Good job. But while the model may just be a placeholder, the background colors could indicate who the upcoming characters are. And the first point everyone looks to is the green and blue colors obviously represent Broly and Gogeta Blue, right? That's obvious. It makes sense. Except Goku GT is obviously the DLC 3, and both Broly and Gogeta were announced as DLC 5 and 6. So if you are to believe that these colors will be released in order, then green and blue do not correspond to Broly and Gogeta. In fact, the green is Goku GT. I don't know why. Maybe because of his intro with Shenron. I could even see Broly being the purple color. He's got them pants. And then Gogeta maybe being brown. I mean, the jacket is black, but with the movie's lighting and everything, it looks brown most of the time. That's a stretch. So that's the first inconsistency that we can see with the background colors. Not only that, but if we look at the previous DLC, Jiren has the little black thing on top of his shirt, so that fits the background. Videl has the purple undershirt, so that also fits the background. And if we look at Season 1 DLC, most of the characters actually have some theme, something that fits with their character model. I mean, looking at Broly, that is a very dark shade of red. It could be representing his waistcloth or whatever, but that's a very different shade of red. That's kind of a stretch, but I'm willing to accept that. But then we look at Cooler. Cooler is gray. There's no gray on Cooler. What do you... No. Background colors don't always represent the characters. They don't always pull from the character's color scheme. And I think this is proven mainly with Broly and Cooler on Season 1 DLC. So there are too many inconsistencies to look at the background color theory and deduce a character based on that. Also, before everyone starts commenting on the release dates, those are all placeholders. I guarantee you Goku GT will come out before May 31st. And if you want proof that these are placeholder dates, look at the Dragon Ball FighterZ Past Commentator voice pack, which was supposed to come out on March 31st. It's not out, so obviously a placeholder. Stop looking at these dates. These are not the final dates. That said, once Goku GT comes out and we see what his background color is, then maybe we can start to put some stuff together. If Goku GT comes out and his color is green, then we know that blue is the color for the unannounced DLC character. If Goku GT comes out and his color is brown because of his tail maybe, then yes, maybe green is Broly and blue is Gogeta, and then we have a final purple character. But until that happens, the background colors theory means jack shit. So where do we turn to? What are we going to look at for the upcoming DLC? Actually, the top 8 most wanted characters. We covered this before Season 2 was announced. There was this big poll made on Reddit that gathered the votes from many players, and a lot of the most requested characters are actually being taken into consideration for the DLC. So a while back, the top 8 most wanted characters were Toppo, Gogeta Super Saiyan, Kid Goku, Mr. Satan, Jiren, Janemba, Kefla, and Master Roshi. Out of this list, we can eliminate some and look at what else we have to work with. First of all, Jiren, he made it. Congratulations, you guys asked for it, he's in. Videl, by the way, she was not in the top 8, but she was in the top 16 most wanted characters, so she was also a pretty popular choice. Also, Great Saiyaman was also in that top 16, so maybe the 2 combined could have made it into the top 8. Gogeta Super Saiyan is another character we can eliminate because there's another Gogeta coming, and it's a better one. So Gogeta Super Saiyan, I'd have a hard time believing he's ever gonna make it into the game now. Kid Goku, we have Goku GT, and he's got a power pole, so it kind of fills that need. And finally, finally, if Topo didn't come out alongside Jiren, I also have a hard time believing he's gonna be in the game. During Season 1, every DLC pack had a topic. 2 DLC characters came out together, for instance, Base Goku, Base Vegeta, so the heroes from the Saiyan Saga, or the hero and the villain. Bardock and Broly were the movie characters, Zamasu and Vegito were the fusion characters. Even cooler, and Android 17 were the brothers pack. Now, things seem to change a little bit on Season 2. Not everything is gonna have a theme. You really have to stretch it to find a theme between Jiren and Videl. But if Topo was coming, I think they'd keep the themes going, because they do have a theme for the final 2 characters, Gogeta and Broly. And that is basically my reasoning for eliminating Topo off of this list. So the final most popular results are Mr. Satan, Master Roshi, Janemba, and Kefla. These 4 characters are hands down the most likely characters to come out. We could be surprised and someone else might come out of the blue, but I believe the final character will be one of these 4. Now, which one of these 4 is the most likely character to come out? We're gonna find out right now using some powers of logic. Before the game even released, there were a couple of interviews that said we are not including joke characters in Dragon Ball FighterZ. Now, this was pre-released and a lot has happened since, but I don't see any reason for them to deviate from this philosophy. Because of their anti-joke character policy, Mr. Satan is gonna have a hard time making it into the game. And it really pains me to say this because I really wanted Mr. Satan. But when making a video like this, I have to keep my emotions in check and be unbiased, and I guess Mr. Satan's not gonna make it. And then we have the curious case of Master Roshi. Master Roshi is the #1 most wanted character. He is the one guy that everyone wants in Dragon Ball FighterZ. He's the most obvious pick based on fan demand. He's got one big flaw. Master Roshi cannot fly. Super Dash is such an important part of Dragon Ball FighterZ and its base mechanics that Master Roshi not being able to fly, kind of a big no-no. Now, I don't think that's an absolute deal breaker. Arc System Works has shown that they're willing to change the very basics of the game with Videl. Videl does not have a reflect. Instead, she has this different spot dodge type of thing. And it has very different properties to the reflect, so they could come up with an alternative for Super Dash. Maybe Master Roshi just jumps really high, but then he cannot air juggle or he cannot jump cancel, and just basically build the character around the fact that he just cannot leave the ground for extended periods of time. I think that would make a very interesting character. I don't know how hard it would be to build. Honestly, it sounds like a nightmare. But they have messed with the basic mechanics of the game before. There is, precedent. It could happen, and I think that's the only way Master Roshi will happen. It is a crazy endeavor, though, so I think the most likely characters would be Janemba and Kefla. Now, out of the 2, adding Janemba, a movie character who is not canon, they've done that before. That's not an obstacle necessarily. But when faced against Kefla, who is also like a very popular character, they're both very popular. But if people want both, and then we have someone who is canon and someone who actually adds a female character to the roster, because female representation is a thing. Whether you care about it or not, it's always like a trophy thing that developers and publishers can hold to and say, we have powerful female characters in our fighting game. Then I think the scale starts tipping more in Kefla's favor. So if we take all of that into consideration, everything we talked about, including the color theory, there is only one brown character, and that's Gregory. Thank you for watching.